Man, we waited for so long and we finally got it, man. We've been teased for so long. We finally get the origin story of Absolute Joker, man. This is straight up heat. Absolute Batman number 15. I can't wait. I'm super excited. You already know what to do. Put on your cape and cowl, utility belt. Roll that intro, cuz. Yeah. What's going on, Geek Corner? That is your boy, Earthsmack, the Mad Scientist, and welcome back to the Orange Phoenix Media channel. You already know what we're covering. Absolute Batman number 15. We got to get into some Absolute Joker. We finally get that origin story, man. Stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to give you my full review on this thing, man, and how much I love this thing and how you should be loving it too. So let's get it. So first thing we got to do is go back to Absolute Evil, which is an amazing book. But the one thing that did stood out, at least for me, is the Joker and his presence. Because whenever he steps into a room, whenever he speaks, everybody goes silent. And everybody just sits there and listen because he has some things to say. Now, the one thing that is you notice about this particular Joker, especially Absolute Universe, is that he does not enjoy jokes. And he said this. He's like, I don't enjoy jokes. But also the other part of it is what his position is when it comes to society. Because when it comes to Absolute Evil, he says the fundamental forces of this universe trend in one direction. And now we know that includes societal forces. Gravity distorts the universe and so the river runs. The curtain falls, the yoke is heavy. We accept that man is tethered to earth. We do not believe a man can fly. With this discovery, we must now accept that there is likewise a moral gravity pulling down. Keep everything that is in its place. So the thing is with him is that everything should be as it should be. You know, the rich stay on the top, middle class, low class, and it is what it is. The low class try to be the rich, but they never reached that point. Like, we were blessed with this money and this power and this respect, and we should keep it at the status quo. And if anybody try to disrupt that system, we need to put it back in its place. So again, he's one of those people that's very methodical and very thought-provoking when it comes to his speech and what his goals are. But he's been very vague on what his goals are. Now, honestly and truly, he's been running Gotham. He's been running Gotham behind the scenes. And on top of all that, someone as monstrous as Bane is at Joker's beck and call. So that lets you know how powerful this man really is. So this goes on to the Absolute Batman number 15. And Alfred Pennyworth is giving him a little bit of a backstory on not only who we know him as Jack Grimm, and he goes on to say it starts here with one of the first films ever recorded, maybe the actual first, 1888, same year as Le Prince Roundaway garden scene. His great-grandfather. No, in the makeup, the boy, the clown, Joseph Grimm, Jack. The story is he grew up an orphan on the streets of Gotham, made his living as a street performer. They say he was good too, best around, said you could hear the laughter for blocks and blocks, though he himself never so much as chuckled. His reputation grew. He brought his clown act to Vaudeville, took the money from that and invested in his own theater called Just Kidding, or JK for short. Yes, from there he invested in silent pictures, funded some big ones. Competition was fierce, but Jack always prevailed by, according to those around him, making people laugh loudest. By 40, he had made a fortune and become a member of Gotham's finest men's clubs, the Five Gates Club, the Slaughter Select, and so on. It's said that he, Andrew Mellon, John Rockefeller, and old Andrew Carnegie had their own Thursday salon devoted to funding the health and progress of the Republic. Still, he was never one for the spotlight himself. Now, there are almost no photos of him, no interviews, barely any records at all. In fact, he exists mostly in the shows he produced and the charity. Jack was a major philanthropist. That much is documented, though you won't see his name on anything. A wing of Gotham Med, the Gotham Met, Gotham University. He was especially devoted to children's causes, which made sense given his own rough childhood. Live like a clown. Leave the world with more laughter than when you entered. That was his reported motto. Jack died in 1938, according to records, and is buried in a family crypt here in the city of Gotham. Now, this was the first part of the story, right? He's what Alfred is doing is telling you, or telling us as the reader, and telling Bruce a series of stories that he's heard and the story that he actually believes. Because in this first story that he's talking about, Jack Grimm, he's saying, yes, the Grimm family has been a proponent of promoting children's health, making sure children get nice homes, and again, like his father, he stayed committed to philanthropic pursuits, especially those for children. He opened homes for orphans across the country. Now, it goes back to him on this island because Pennyworth also says he bought several small islands, uninhabited islands. No one knows what's for, and there's no surveillance on his whereabouts whenever he goes to these islands, like you off the grid, basically. And he says, look, on paper, nothing is so scary about him, just the opposite. He's the 5th chapter in a story about a family that has made its fortune by embracing that very first love, the clown, helping Americans and people around the world smile, laugh. Sure, he's eccentric. Jack likes to go hunt big game alone on remote islands, but all billionaires are eccentric, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with that. He said, but he's a classic American success story. Now, Bruce was like, I didn't ask you for the story, Pennyworth. I asked you what you believed, and that's where we at with it. He said, all right, cool. So let's go back to what I believe. He said, so to that boy in the alley, back to the clown. See, young Jack Grimm often performed outside a dentist's office. In the 1880s, they'd only just introduced nitrous oxide to dentistry, laughing gas, and Jack would sneak in, leak the gas into the alley, make them laugh, sure, but also make them suggestible as nitrous oxide does, so they'd give him all their money. The act was a trick, a sleight of hand, no different from when Jack Sr. funded his own rivals, Vaudeville, and in film, playing one side against the other. And that's what my research has found about the Grimm family. They've always played both sides. For a century and a half, these men have invested in one endeavor and its counter. It extends beyond entertainment to all aspects of life. They even funded our war effort and theirs. Through subsidiaries, all their clown name companies, the Grimms fund right-leaning news networks and left-leaning ones. They fund the aid and the warlords who steal it. Peace and war, the crime and prison, Arc M. They might be the most powerful crime family in history, playing everyone against each other, profiting off the chaos they sow, loyal to no country, no principle, nothing but power. He's like, look, I always come back to the motto, live life like a clown. A clown plays the fool while making a fool of everyone else. He's a mastermind, the schemer. So from the story that he believes, the Grimm family has always played both sides, like always since the 1800s, even played the Americas against Nazi Germany or whatever the case may be. Like he was funding both wars. So he was the Lord of War in that sense of the word. He was just giving money, and he's been experimenting since then. He said, listen, I'm saying there's a darker project, Bruce. I have records of Grimm investments in some of the deadliest inventions of the last 100 years, from the bomb to bioweapons, viruses. There are records of them laughing, Bruce, the Grimm men at the test. Only then. He like, what are you getting at? What are you trying to say? He's like, listen, okay, so what if those islands are where he puts his enemies? His enemies, what if he just leaves them there for years until he feels like, look, I sound mad, but he's saying, I believe he uses the children, Bruce. At first, he used the ones in the orphanage, and now he uses something else. He found some way, I don't know, using their cells, using research, doing at his arcs, some terrible elixir. The clown, Bruce. What is a clown? It's a whole act. It's a cruel mockery of us, of humanity. As bumbling, stupid, the clown hates us. You find stories in myth, legends from ancient times to now. Pagliacci, the jester who burns the kingdom in Baldes Salvajes. The one who convinces us to kill each other, even as he himself preys on us. The clown is death. The clown is, he like, stop dancing around it. And you see Jack transforms into the Joker, the monster. And that is the only time really where the Joker laughs. And now, if you want to take it back, like, you got to, for me, this reminds me of Spawn. This reminds me of the Violator. Because, I mean, yeah, the clown is fat, chubby, and he looks abnormal, and he transforms into this monster. But this guy, Jack Grimm, he's look like a regular, everyday, rich trillionaire. Because in the book, it expresses that he is a trillionaire. But to get his anger out, to get that hunger out, he goes to these islands, and he goes hunt game. He transforms, and he eats those people. This man has experimented on children this whole entire time. No matter who you are, if you are an enemy, you are on the island, you are getting experimented on. That is exactly what's going on. Nightmare incarnate. But from this standpoint, we go back to Gotham, where Jack shows up again. And he says, listen, welcome back to the manor, Master Grimm. It's so nice to finally have you home. Does that look familiar to you? Does this character look familiar to you? Because he really looks like Alfred in the main continuity of the universe. He said, look, are you hungry? He like, no, I ate. He like, I have plans to make though. So if you need me, I'll be in the cave. Yo, so Jack Grimm is really Bruce Wayne in the main DC universe. So whatever Darkseid is cooking here, he is cooking. You understand? Like, him as a character creating this universe is cooking. So Jack Grimm has all the money, all the resources, all the power, as if Bruce Wayne is in the main continuity of the DC universe. Like, so it's really turning DC on its head. Like, this absolute Batman story and this whole entire storyline in general is awesome to read. Awesome to read, man. I thoroughly enjoy that. And this particular character, everybody wanted to know, what is it with the Joker? And there's like tons of buildup, like tons of teasing. You've seen him in Absolute Evil. You've seen the Man in White, especially when he approached Bane in his earlier years. You saw all these things, but finally you get an issue centered on Jack Grimm, aka Absolute Joker. Man, love this book. Love this book, man. I know this book is selling like hotcakes, especially the variant covers that's out there, man. I missed out. I'm not even going to hold you. I missed out on the variant covers. The Sanford Green variant cover, I missed out on that. My homeboy told me they was lined up outside the comic book store ready to pick up this book. Those variant covers, gone, out of there. So that's a testament to Scott Snyder in writing Absolute Batman, man. This, super duper great. There's no other words I can express to this, man. I'm very curious on what will happen with Absolute Joker. How will Bruce contend with this particular character? Because now you are a person that using your resources without money, going against someone that has all the resources, and on top of all that, got Bane in his back pocket. Now, yeah, Bane is off the board. Like, this man is in pieces. You know what I mean? Like eyeballs and brain. You know what I mean? So that is where he at with it. But Bane wouldn't say he's afraid of Jack Grimm, but he definitely respects him enough to listen to his orders. And if Jack Grimm tells you to go do something, you might want to go do it. And what Joker did to Bane's family on that island lets you know everything there is to know about it. And that was in the last issue. So if you want me to cover like the Absolute Bane versus Absolute Batman in the arena, which was amazing, by the way, this stupid crazy, But let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the comments how you feel about Absolute Batman number 15 with the origin story of the Joker. And yes, I did skip some key parts in this issue because I really want you guys to go to your LCS and support this book. Support this book, whether physically or digitally. Go out here and read this. Do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell, because when you hit that notification bell, make sure in that drop down box you select all, because when you select all, you get notified on all of our content, whether it's live or recorded. So see you guys next time. Peace.